you and I were supposed to share him to go back and forth from my home to your home. You lied on those documents. I didn't do anything. And I wasn't even there the day you said I was there. So how would you do that to me? You were so worried about punching and
You
killing
were
me.
speaking to your husband to do that. He acted on your behalf.
Yeah,
You gave your husband's instructions and he did
I
exactly
don't
what you asked him to do.
care, actually. You think you know everything, but you don't. I begged him to stay out of it because I thought you were a good person. But toward the end of my father's life, I noticed that you were not. All of this
Okay.
control documents,
You
you
have twisted lies in your head that you believe.
no, no, you married him as a vegetable. All these years you wouldn't
No,
even
I
marry
did not. We've been a common law marriage since 2016. We put it
him.
on record on April 4th because I knew your family would be doing exactly what you did. So we
You
had to get it recorded.
or
That
what?
is not the marriage date. That is the recorded date.
That's fine. All of it's going to be annulled anyways, Gwendolyn. We've already got an attorney on it. You've done this to yourself. I couldn't believe that you filed criminal. I was going to let you have your ashes. I invited you to the ceremony. I wanted you to be included. I just needed my distance because you had wanted calling me, telling me
I
that
didn't have anyone call
yes,
you.
the night before
No.
she was a murderer. She said I was murdering my father. And then my family and everybody heard you in the room that same day that I wasn't giving him enough time and that I wasn't even there and this shouldn't be a decision of mine. There was still
That's lies. That's made up lies. I never said any such thing.
But you just told me when this conversation started you never did a document either. And now that I've
No,
read
I
it,
didn't. I said, what are you talking about? I need you to explain what you were referring to.
you know that you just married my father and you know that you
No, I
lied.
have not. That's a lie. Go ahead. What else?
You're, you're the most manipulative person that I know. I really thought
No,
that
I'm
you
really not. I was
you
honoring your father wanted
oh,
a separation from all of you, and now I know why. He didn't
oh
want
you
to be with any of you because of the manipulation y'all have been doing to him all of his adult life. You've never respected his decision of what he wanted to do with his life. None of you. And it
look,
hurts my heart that you joined forces with everyone that has been against me and your dad for 10 freaking years.
I didn't join forces. You did that. You kept
No,
him
I
from
did not.
meeting that we were gonna bounce him back and forth
We
and
did do that. We did
well, we
that.
did. When the homie came home acting like he wasn't being taken care of properly. Like you guys weren't feeding him, you were leaving him in a chair.
Okay. Those are lies. Those are misinterpretations of what he was saying. He was letting you know whatever was going on with him for the moment. You twisted everything
I did.
for your personal gain.
How is it my personal gain? What did I get out of him
Because
having
you and your family were building a neglect case against me, trying to say I am responsible for everything that has happened to him, and that is far from the truth. Because you,
what the,
your sister, Victoria, all of you that have been manipulating him and trying to remove him from his Dayton home from way before the strokes.
we should have done that to you. I
Okay, that's the problem. You didn't respect him.
did
You never respected him. That
this
was
is
the problem.
the funeral he deserved because you didn't even care to. How many times have you gotten something from the church and you didn't even offer to help with him? Many
What are
times.
you talking about? I haven't got
Yes,
to pay the bills for this household. Are you really serious right now? What did you want me to do? He wanted me to be by his side 24/7. I honored his wishes, and so our home wouldn't crumble. I had to get assistance from somewhere to pay the freaking bill. So what are you saying? Now
when
that's a problem for you? Really?
he did not want to be with you, he told all of his children that. And I'm sorry that you feel like you really
Okay, that's not what we were. That's not what we had going on. So he told you what you wanted to hear because you manipulated him. You guilt
I
tripped him for all of the whole time we were together.
no I didn't. You're so
So
close.
he told you what you wanted to hear.
But no, we used to be close. This came because death brings out the worst in
No,
people.
you
And
wanted the medical power of attorney. You were upset because you thought I stole it from you, and that was a lie. I
that was
wanted
not
to work with you and Hunter. Y'all
a
turned on me. You went under Victoria's wing against me and Jeff, and it's obviously that who is controlling you and Hunter.
no, it's not. I'm in charge of myself. You went behind my back and you filed affidavits and you
I
lied.
had to record our truth because you threatened to remove your dad from his home where he wanted to be.
He wanted to
That's
come.
why he told you, give me another day, not today, give me another day. And I asked him to be forthright with his children, but he couldn't do that at that point because of the way that y'all go ballistic when he tries to tell you his truth because you don't want to hear it.
Anything to him. When he talks about you, I change the subject. At the end, I had no respect for you. And now you have officers calling me, and I wasn't even present. That's perjury. It doesn't matter that Hunter went there. That wasn't even me doing that.
You told him. He came in this room and said you told him to take the pictures in our home.
Bitch, don't put words in my mouth. I said I'm going to take a picture because your daughter's going to want to see it. Because she's going to be worried about you. Don't put words in my mouth. Because I bit my tongue the whole time you were there, the whole time I saw you. I could have.
You never wanted me anywhere around your home or anything. So let's just y'all never wanted me there. You wanted your dad there. You wanted your dad separated from where he wanted to be. And this is the end result. You wanted total control of his life and his death. And you prematurely ended his life. His life was not important to y'all.
Oh, it wasn't. But I was there every freaking day, forcing a relationship with my father. But it wasn't important to me. The only reason my father was important.
You wouldn't have a relationship with your father if I hadn't encouraged him to lay down all his issues because of your sister and have a relationship with you. For 10 years it took for him to get what y'all had at the end. So the fact that you're twisting everything now.
That too. And, you know, I've always given you credit, and I've always been kind to you, and I never went behind your back, and I was not doing a case against you. And for you...
You were part of it. All of your people were doing it.
I'm not part of it, actually. I had your fucking back.
I can't tell. You didn't show it to me.
Well, look at what you've done. You think I can tell? Ever since Wanda came in the picture, you have twisted and manipulated...
Wanda is her own person. She was upset with how y'all were treating Jeff, her friend. I didn't tell her to call y'all one time. That is her, what she had to tell you. She was trying to let you know he had life in his body and to do something different. Y'all didn't want to do it. You wanted to do mercy killing, like Hunter says. Okay, so you got what you got. You did what you did. You have to answer for what you've done. He had life in his body. The medical staff was intentionally reporting all the stuff they told you that was not completely accurate. Y'all acted on it. Y'all bonded with the medical staff and did not allow your dad to have the proper time to heal. His body was doing some things different, and they did not want to report it. I was there every day. I was in everything, watching everything they were doing. And he had, like you said, it was 3%. He had life in his body, and he could have had a complete recovery. I know y'all don't believe that, but that is where I stand on it.
Do you think my father would be proud of the way that he treats his children?
Yes, he told me every day he didn't want anything to do with y'all because y'all wouldn't leave him the hell alone.
And he told us every day he hated you. And you know what? I don't even know why I even tried to have a relationship with you. And I kept you involved. Whenever Hunter got medical power of attorney, they wanted to remove you. And I told them not to. And he even told Wanda that if you need to go and verify that. And I told him you need to.
I know he said he was going to remove us both from the hospital. I heard all of that. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and who fought for you? I did, but I'm this horrible person that you...
You spoke death over your dad instead of fighting for his life.
He wanted that. He didn't want to go to a facility with tubes all over him. He had no life at that time. He was...
You're not God. Y'all played God. Y'all played the hand of God for him. You're not God. You played God for him, and you did what you did. And that's the bottom line.
To make that decision. It's not a good decision. It's not a decision.
To you, it's not a good decision because you had bad nursing home experiences. That was not going to be the end for your dad. He was not going to be that way for the rest of his life. He had life in his body. His brain was functioning. His brain was not dead. His organs were not dead. And that's, you can tell that the way y'all gave over, started comfort care, and the organ donor came in and immediately swooped him up. He had life in his body, and I think it was worth giving time for him to recover. He had recovery in his body.
2 weeks extra.
He was 60 days on the first stroke. That was less. This stroke was 1,000 times worse, and you're going to give him a week to live? 3 weeks to live? That's horrible.
The other one, he had additional symptoms. He had proof that he was coming back from it. This time he had nothing.
You didn't give him time to get proof, so I don't want to hear that he didn't have. You gave him enough time because you did not give him enough time to prove. He was proving. It wasn't being acknowledged.
Enemy, because you think that because you've manipulated everyone so much in your head. And
I've never manipulated anyone. I have honored what your dad told me he wanted.
I don't. And He was not even of sound mind to make a legal document.
And y'all, March 10th, y'all got him to sign your medical power of attorney. He was in the freaking hospital at Kingwood, and he was the March 10th was the day he transferred from medical to rehab. And I now that I look back, he was throwing up for 48 hours because of what y'all did in manipulating him to sign your medical power of attorney. Only time he throws up is when his family stresses him, and that is why he was throwing up right after y'all got him to sign the medical power of attorney.
You stressed him out more than my
I never stressed him out. I calmed his storms. I wish he was here to tell you because
he was telling me something different because he always did.
He always told y'all something different because he didn't want anything to do with what y'all were doing to him, stressing him out, manipulating him, guilt tripping him to do something he didn't want to do.
Back to us. You were so worried about everyone filing charges when you were doing something to you because you were doing it to every one of us. And you can manipulate that and twist
I didn't do anything. I gave everything of myself and of everything I had to his children and his grandchildren. I didn't have much. I drained everything that I had financially to take care of him and his kids. Not you. It was one kid that was wanting everything. But at the end of the day, I gave everything for him. He was just getting to the point where he wanted to take care of us. And who wouldn't let him? All of y'all.
You're so full of it. He was in your
Okay,
home.
you weren't here. Dorothy was here. Go talk to your sister. Maybe you don't know anything about it, but she knows what she did. She'll never admit to it. She came in this home to sever him from his home, and she created all kind of storms that stressed him out. 24 hours before the first stroke happened, he sat in this recliner and said, "This has gone too far. I do not know how I can pull her back this time because of her chaos that she creates." And less than 24 hours later, he had the freaking first stroke. So please don't tell me about anything you think I've done or haven't done. I have done everything that in my for y'all.
Bad person I am and call me a murderer behind my back and be ugly to
I have never called you a murderer. I said he needed more time, and y'all played God and went with the hospital against his life. You did do that.
I did what I thought was best for my father.
I know you did.
And you sit here and you treat me like I've done something wrong, and I made
you have to answer for what you've done. I'm not saying you've done anything right or wrong. I'm telling you the events are from where I'm looking from, and you have to. Everyone has to answer individually for what they've done. So you take it up with God. You don't have to take anything up with me. I'm not judging you or anything. I'm not calling you a murderer or anything. I said he needed more time. When Dr. Yeager talked to me and you the very first time, there were two options on the table, but you talked to the staff behind my back, and you made sure that comfort care was coming forth. You and the Hunter, y'all both threatened me. If I went the other route, you were going to enforce your medical power of attorney. Y'all threatened me to say that this was no longer an option. Dr. Yeager altered his freaking medical reports saying he only gave one option, and that is a freaking lie. You always wanted the people speaking death over your dad to come and talk to everybody. I blocked all of them from his room because God was doing a work in your dad that no one wanted to acknowledge. Whether you could see it or not, I saw his vitals every day. I watched everything that they were charting on him every day, and he had improvement. It wasn't to the level that they wanted to see, but it doesn't mean he didn't have improvement. Y'all believed the lies of the medical staff, and you did what you did. So I'm not calling you a murderer. You were given half information, and you acted upon it because you wanted to.
The doctor cannot falsify any document.
They did. He did. I hold him accountable. He did.
Okay, well, listen. He can lose his license for that.
Okay. And I'm not trying to hurt his life. I want him to continue to do what he's doing. When he came in my presence, he was very nervous. He didn't talk to me very long. He only talked to you because you were for comfort care. And he took a sigh of relief when you told him, this is the only thing we're going to do for my dad is comfort care. We're not doing nursing homes. He just connected with you from that point forward.
I didn't tell him that we weren't doing anything for my father. I said that if it comes to a point where the nursing home or leaving this earth was the only options, my father would not want a nursing home. If he was able to recognize or communicate his needs or even be awake.
He was communicating.
He was not.
Yes, he was. He wasn't communicating to people speaking death over him, but he was definitely communicating to people speaking life in him. I saw him go in and out of his body every day. and he only had a little bit he could communicate with his eyes and his left foot, and he did. I have video footage, and y'all can call it whatever you want. I have video footage of his delayed response. Your nurse practitioner friend, that woman that came in there and told y'all all that crap, all these possibilities of this is going to happen to your dad. You should know your dad has beat all the odds all his freaking life. For you to say he can't do it this time, that's horrible in my opinion. That's just my opinion. You can do what you want to do, but that nurse practitioner, that last before y'all pulled that plug on him, she came in there and did a test on your dad, and it was still not up to the level where she. At that point, it was no. He was already going to have to be taken out. But at that point, she still charted an abnormal response because he lifted his hand. It wasn't high enough for her, but he did respond. When she pressed his head, he did respond. It just wasn't what her medical, I guess, whatever. Nothing was ever good enough for what your dad was trying to communicate. Nothing was ever good enough for that medical staff. The two nurse practitioners that you loved, that spoke death over your dad. I have nurses that came over there that treated your dad, that were speaking life in him, and they were very helpful to him, and they were doing a lot of positive things to him, and they did to put positivities on his chart. But for the most part, the negative was charted, and what happened happened, and it's just really sad that his life was not valued enough to give him a better chance.
Okay, now it's my turn. My father's life was valued. It was valued enough to know that it was too much for him. But I called the hospital every day, and I spoke to the staff, and all I kept getting was that you were delusional, and that you only listened to respond, that you never listened to comprehend, and that he was not coming out of this. And they told me that all I was doing was prolonging the inevitable, and that if we continued to ask for more time, his body was already starting to shut down. And he did have so many.
And you came looking for that. I remember that. You came speaking death over him and looking for everything about death in him. His body was ice cold before I started the treatments I was doing, and his body, his circulation in his body, everything became warm and normal temperature. His fever stopped spiking. Everything. His body was doing things much differently than they let you know.
And I finished talking with you. I did come in there, and I did do a thorough overlook of him, like you said. I did. I wanted to make sure that what they said was with what I knew as well. I didn't do it because I spoke death into my father. I needed to see for myself what they were saying was accurate. So when I came there and I did my own thorough evaluation of him, it wasn't because I didn't believe you or them. It was because I needed to see it for myself.
The fact that they say I'm delusional, I need to know who's saying these things, because that's defamation of my character, and that is out of bounds for them to be speaking. That nurse practitioner, Kevin, you love so much.
That's not who said it.
Okay, well, both of the nurse practitioner, whoever said it, that is grounds for a lot of different things, because for them to say I'm delusional.
I don't understand
at this point, I saw what I saw, and I document what I have video proof of what my documentation. Whether they want to discount it, that's up to them. But yeah, that was very wrong. That you were calling every day and you were getting these reports against my character, and you were acting upon that. So that's what I'm saying. Behind the scenes, you did a whole lot with that medical staff. But go ahead.
I was supposed to. I was looking out for my father. I was doing direct communication. I needed to decipher between the truth between what you were seeing and what they were saying, because there's always a third story of what's really happening. And I wasn't going to just say, oh, I don't believe you or the medical staff. I wanted to see for myself. And I'm sorry that you feel like you were done wrong, but this situation has nothing to do with you. And you're so happy about wanting to do affirmations and wanting to David.
You provoked it, so if you didn't do what you did, I wouldn't have done what I did. But it can all be amended down to nothing. It's not anything to be enforced.
Nobody was trying to.
It was for protection for your dad, because he didn't want to leave. He didn't want to be removed prematurely from his home that y'all kept doing every day. Y'all called him every day. You and your sister tag teamed him. Leave this home. Get away from that bitch. Get to my sister's house. Go over there. Do this. We need to go fishing. It was too much for him. He wanted to relax. No one let him relax.
There, every time I talked to my father, I never said those things to him. I never told him that he was not welcome at your home. I never.
You did. You told me you told him.
All I told him was that he was not eating, drinking, and he was being left in a recliner, that I would rather him stay home. I never told him he couldn't be there.
None of that happened. Okay.
And whenever the phone, whenever I was here, I never interacted. And when he was at your house, I hardly ever talked to him. So you saying I called him, telling him to get his ass home and all this craziness, I never said
Your
that.
sister said those things, but you just politely said we're going fishing, come over. Then you sent your husband over here to invade our home and take pictures for y'all, for your case, and all of this other stuff. So you claim that y'all didn't call the police that night. You claim Dorothy did it, all this other stuff. It doesn't matter. Your dad wanted to rest. We were tired that night. We were trying to get rest, and y'all kept calling the cops to this house for wellness checks. So yeah, I did ask the cops for recourse for protection for your dad. I did.
So that for yourself. And the first time you called the police, because they said that you had notified.
I never called the police to the house.
Yourself. Call them yourself and see, because they said that they were already notified that there could be a possible.
They sure were, because you said, you hung up with me, you said, I'm done. And then you said you were going to, basically you're going to remove your dad from his home. So yeah, I did call them to see what the hell recourse we had to protect your dad. I did.
So you finally tell the truth. You just stated you didn't do it. So can we have a conversation?
Didn't do what?
Looted?
I never called the police to the home. I called for information because of what you did.
Okay. I never told them to do that. I never wanted them to go there. When you come to my home,
I have the police report saying who called, the call reports. I have those coming.
To get the number, because mine will not be on there, and I will laugh and smile in your face when you see that you are.
I didn't say you called, but you and your family have been working together against me and Jeff for a very long time, and y'all have a network. So if your sister called, she called for you.
No, she didn't.
I loved you for a long fucking time. Until all this showed up and you showed your true colors.
I don't think it was real. You didn't want me in your home at all. That's what you showed. Your actions showed me you didn't want me in your home.
When you first got here, I was angry because everything I did, you acted as if it wasn't right, or I wasn't doing it correctly.
I never did that. I was trying to work with you, and that's another a lie in your head. You said Karen was on your butt every day about stuff you did wrong. I never told you did anything wrong. That's another lie.
My mind is not manipulated. It's not inclusive. It's not wrapped around a false reality. I know what I think and what I do. I only called you because I feel wrong. I invited you to my father's funeral. I was going to give you ashes, and then to find out today that you've been going behind my back since day one, and I've never done that to you.
I've never gone behind your back. I reacted to what y'all did to us.
You reacted before because you thought that we were going to do something to you, so you wanted something in writing.
To me? This is for your dad. It wasn't about me. You wanted to remove him from his home.
Okay, listen, you were so scared that night when you rushed here, when he had Hunter and Karen and my dad in one car, and you rushed here. You were so scared. You told me someone's trying to do something behind my back. I need to know what's going on. And that are they looking for ATF or whatever, Adult Protection Services? Like,
you told me your mom was doing that. This is what you told me. I wasn't there frantic of what y'all were going to do. I was just stating what y'all were telling me.
No one stated that to you.
You did tell me your mother was looking for adult protection issue. You told me that out of your mouth. So if you want to deny it now, that's up to you. I'm only going by what you told me.
They're just looking for a reason to seem like you're not crazy. Everyone around us sees the truth.
You can call me crazy all day long. Y'all are the ones that have gone against your dad all the time that he has tried to have a relationship with me, and I have gone above and beyond to try to help him mend all of the relationships, and this is how you repay him.
I'm repaying him by putting him to rest properly, and I gave him a beautiful ceremony, not because I wanted him dead like you're telling everyone else. And I have been told by multiple people the things that you say behind my back and the things that Wanda has said. And Wanda did call
Wanda may have said whatever. I'm not Wanda. I've never said you tried to murder your dad or wanted him dead. I said that he was not given enough time. And I'm speaking mainly on the hospital. I believe the hospital manipulated the family with possibilities for Jeff, but had nothing to do with Jeff, in my opinion. So that is what I stand on. I do not say that y'all did anything intentionally against your dad. You were given information, half-truth information, and you acted upon it. And that is my truth.
But I still don't understand why you thought someone was trying to go behind your back and you went behind our back.
You told me you told me what they were doing behind my back. Karen was over there getting y'all to sign paperwork. what she was doing with the neglect case. Hunters came and protected Karen in front of me. Yeah, I signed this. I did that. I called this. I mean, y'all all were showing your actions were perfectly clear of what y'all were doing. Victoria has been, you're so buddy buddy with her right now. She spoke so horribly about you the whole time I was with your dad, and I had to defend you against all of that. But now y'all are buddy buddy. It's like she owns you now. She's very manipulative and she's good at what she does. She's always getting people under her wing to do what she wants. Her and Dorothy are they're one team. And when y'all join forces with that against me and your dad, yes, things we're going to have to change because I was protecting us against anything going against our relationship.
When were you going to notify me that he allegedly moved back to Dayton? Because I didn't know any of that. He still lived in my home up until he passed away.
What do you mean allegedly moved back to Dayton has always been his home. You were a temporary therapeutic place for him for his therapies. What do you mean he moved to your home?
It's not.
His address has always been this Dayton home.
It's because, they've been legally married since 2016 in Montgomery County. I have that paperwork, and I'm willing to turn it in to have your marriage annulled the way.
Who's been married since 2016?
My father and Vicky, and we have the papers.
She said 2023. So who?
Oh, like you and my dad were in 2016. Hers is in 23. That's correct. Which still means that hers would annul yours because yours is in 24.
No, it's not. My marriage is not in 24.
It was this year.
And I remember all this paperwork she was doing and whatever to manipulate your dad. And so if y'all want to go there, well, like I said, you're working for Victoria. Y'all do what you freaking want to do.
I wasn't going to do anything.
Okay, do what you feel you need to do with Victoria. She always has been against me and your dad because that's not where he wanted to be. He fought with her for 10 years of his love for me, and she never respected it.
Okay.
So you can go forward with what Victoria wants you to do. Y'all have fun.
You pretended I'm the bad guy. You turned.
I've never said you were bad. You're manipulated into all this crap.
I'm not manipulating. I'm saying what the politician who called me today told me. You filed a report the same day that you married my father, and she sent me all the documents.
Yeah, I was at the courthouse that day doing all of that because of what you provoked.
What did I provoke?
Y'all brought the police to the house. You wanted to remove your dad from his home, and he didn't want to go. I had to do something to protect his wishes.
You said he told everybody what he wanted to hear. To me, he wanted to go. He wanted his shed here. He wanted his tools here. He wanted his cast irons. He wanted his clothes and his TV. And you told him that was not his TV.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And the shed is not his either. And the lawnmower is not his either. I need my personal property from your home. The phone and the lawnmower and my pressure cooker. And I'm hoping you will let me get my items from your home. Well, I need my property.
His grandson, so I can't verify if that's your property. And then
what's for your grandson? What?
The lawnmower that came here way before he passed away, the 3 days, before even going in the hospital, when she was in the hospital for 3 additional weeks, he gave that to Leland.
No, he did not give that to anyone. Hunter and him were going to repair it.
No.
Okay, you can have the lawnmower. I'm not arguing over the lawnmower. We bought it at a freaking pawn shop, and you want to keep it, that's fine. You can have it. I'm not arguing about the lawnmower, but I need my phone because that's under my contract.
Well, he bought it at the front of my neighborhood from the guy who does lawnmowers.
You bought what? His phone?
No, I didn't buy his phone. His lawnmower that you said he bought at the pawn shop was bought at the front of the neighborhood from the old man who does lawnmowers.
I don't want to argue about the lawnmower. If you think it's yours, you can have it. I'm not going to argue with you about a lawnmower. I know what we did to get it. If you have a different story, then you can have it. I'm not arguing with you about a lawnmower. I need my phone.
I don't know where his phone is.
I know you were going to say that. So I need you kept it in the vehicle. You kept it everywhere. He had his phone when he went to your home. He had our phone when you went to your home. I need that phone returned to me.
He had the phone when he went to the hospital. I have the bag with his clothes and his wallet. I did not find the phone. And you and I have already discussed that.
No, we have not discussed his phone at all.
I told you to go to Methodist that night and it was storming and I was trying to tell you what was going on and you asked me if I could please look for it and find it and I said I will look for it. I told you when I was laying in bed and you had just woken up and you said what's going on and I was telling you everything that happened and where he was and that they were trying to transfer him to did you want to go to Methodist or Kingwood? And you said I will come to Kingwood if he's still there when I get there. And you and Wanda got up, you got dressed and y'all rushed over here to see him and he was already sedated because he had already had a secondary stroke when they did an MRI.
So you're saying at this point you have no idea where the phone is? Is that your story? Okay.
Yeah. Have the company ping it, and you'll find it.
Ask who in Kingwood?
Go through your feed and have them ping the device, and you should be able to find it. Now, if it's dead, I have no idea if they'll be able to locate it, but you can try to go through whoever you have it from.
All right, so I just needed to know if you were going to return my property or not. The answer is no. Okay, then you can have it all. Thank you.
What property? It's not even yours, and I don't
It
have
is
any.
under my contract. You need me to show you my contract with my phone and my name?
No, I'm literally,
Do you need that kind of proof?
I don't need anything from you because everything that you
You
tell
have
me
my
is,
pressure cooker. Your dad was going to bring it to me Wednesday before he had the final stroke. He told me he got it and he was bringing it home. So now are you going to say you don't have that either?
what?
My pressure cooker.
No, I have that. I told you you can have that. I found it in the garage.
Well, he told me he got it. He got it. He found it when he got back to the. He asked you about it when he got back to your house.
I just said I found it in my garage where I put it when I rearranged his room.
Oh, now you put it there. You said when I asked you, you didn't know. Maybe the kids moved it. You said.
Yeah, I didn't remember. I didn't know it was in that Walmart bag. Remember, Hunter picked up the Walmart bag when I was rearranging and cleaning my garage to put the car inside of it. We found it. And I found the ramen noodles and everything else in the same bag. I didn't know that was in the bag whenever I moved it in there.
Mm-hmm.
It was on top of the brown chest in the living room. I didn't realize that I had done that. I'm sorry. I have 5 children. I'm
You
trying
don't
to.
have to apologize. I'm just saying what you said at first and what you're saying now. But if you,
No, you're looking for a reason to call me a liar or manipulate.
I'm not calling you a liar. I just wanted my property back to me. If y'all would be so kind to let me have what I have left over there.
Yeah, it's a pressure cooker. Of course, I'm going to give that back to you. I don't know. I feel like I've been wronged. There was no reason for you to go to the courthouse, and I mean, basically trying to keep me from him. And I wasn't even there. So you
I
thought
would never try to keep you from him, but the fact that you were going to remove him from his home and he
I
didn't
wasn't.
want to go, then I had to do something to protect him. That is all that was about. You said you were going to, you made actions, y'all made actions to remove him from his home. He didn't want to be removed from his home. He wanted to be in his home until he got ready to move to go back over there. That was never good enough for you, so I had to take measures to protect what he was telling me he wanted to do.
To the doctor, and you never told me they were removing the peg. As far as I knew, they weren't. He was heading home, and he asked me to make him his dinner. I made him stuff.
We told you all of that. You called when he was at the emergency room.
I was at the emergency room, and last I heard, they were not going to do it. He was coming home, and I was getting dinner ready. Then y'all deliberately ignored me. Drove 45 minutes.
That's not true. None of that's true. Okay. I was next to him every time you talked to him when he told you what was going on.
He said he was coming home, and he wanted me to cook him dinner. Are you lying about that?
No, his home. He was talking about his dating home. Because I asked him before we left. I said, "Your daughter has dinner cooked for you. Do you?" I said, "You need to go by there and at least pick it up." I said because he wanted to go to his home. He said, "I want to get in my bed." He was not feeling well after the removal. It was an extensive procedure for him, and he was getting weak. He wanted to lay down and get in his bed. Is what he told me. I said, "Your daughter has food cooked." I said, "We really need to go by there because it's going to be an issue." And he was like, "Well, just fine." When he gets pressured, he just gets upset and he just, "Okay, fine, just do what you want to do." I was like, "No, I'm not trying to do what I want to do. I'm just letting you know your daughter has already said she has food for you and she wants you to at least come pick it up." And he said he wanted to go lay down, and I didn't think I had enough time to do all that because of how he was getting weaker. He needed a rest. And we went home to our home because he wanted to rest. And we went to bed early, and then the police came. And we both were exhausted from all of that because the doctor he don't do removals since COVID, and we went to the ER, and a doctor there in the ER, they worked it out so he could have it removed. And he told you all that on the phone. I don't know why you're acting like you didn't know any of that. You were informed of everything.
Any of that, and you can sit here and manipulate the truth because that is who you are, that is what you do. I understand that. You're probably recording this for your own personal beneficial value or gain to pretend like someone is coming after you. That is not accurate in any way or form.
As if you don't record everything.
I'm not recording anything because I don't have to, because I don't have to remember what I say or do, because I'm not a manipulative, narcissistic liar. I will tell you, however, no intention of coming in your home, but I am going to annul my father's marriage because he did not want to marry you, and he wanted to marry you for a very long time. He really did. He wanted to marry you, and every time, what did you tell him? No, you haven't provided
I
this.
never told him no. I said that things had to. I never told him no. We did a commitment in 2016. I was always committed to your dad. Your sister kept trying to find other avenues for him away from me and him. And like I said, at his service, we always found our way back to our foundation that we committed to one another. Yes, there were distractions. Yes, there were tug of wars and trying to pull him off our foundation. And then we always came back because that's what we wanted. And that's what none of y'all want to acknowledge.
But what you don't want to acknowledge is you committed perjury. You stated on a government document that y'all have been together since 2016.
That's the truth. I have witnesses. You can't deny.
Every other woman is ready to contest that he has been with them, promising them to move to Florida or marry them or wanted to marry them or live with them. 3 of those addresses he has mail going to. So in the state of Texas, he has 5 addresses: my home, your home, and 3 other women's home. So the marriage alone, there are grounds for annulment.
Do what you feel you need to do. If you think that'll make your day to finally put that nail in the coffin, go for it. That's all I can tell you. I know what I have with your dad. I know what we have, what we did, and what we did was honorable and right. So if y'all want to keep poking at it and just trying to destroy it, go for it. Do what you feel you need to do. At this point, you stole from me.
You literally have been going behind my back.
I never have gone behind your back. I'm reacting to what y'all have done to us.
We've done nothing.
Okay, that's a lie. Okay.
I tried to help my father. You manipulated it like I was doing it for personal
I was pushing him to you the whole time. The whole time. He was getting mad at me every day because I kept pushing him to you. And for you to do what you're doing right now is a waste. It was a waste of my time to keep pushing him to you.
You literally went to a courthouse and you lied to make sure that you had something to keep him from me.
I didn't lie about anything. That is not to keep him from you.
I was not involved.
You were involved. You and your husband were on the phone. You were there. You weren't physically there. You were there. You sent him forward to do what you wanted to do.
Listen, I called him asking him to come home because I knew that he was going to get in trouble. And he told me, what did you tell me, Hunter? Exactly. I told to get him to come home, not to encourage the situation. And I told the police that all I wanted to know was my dad was okay and he wanted to stay there, and that was it. That they didn't.
You could have asked me. You didn't have to call the police. That's your problem. Y'all kept calling the police instead of asking me and your dad. You don't believe anything we've said to you. You never have.
I don't believe anything you're saying right now. You're saying you have proof that that's a bullshit lie. I've never called their department. And you can check all 3 of my freaking phone lines.
I didn't say you call them and get the call report. You have people call for you, just like Victoria. You get people to do your dirty work. So you're clean. You have clean hands, and that's fine.
And that's fine. If you feel that way, Gwen, I will move forward and annul everything. I'm done with this. You've made me out to be
You've been done with it. Y'all have showed me you've been done. So do what you need to do. Have a good day.